Jallikattu, a controversial and emotionally charged subject of this day. Sadly, the Supreme Court of India banned this proud annual celebration of Tamils 2 years ago and stayed it recently in the name of animal protection. Major forces behind this judgment were AWBI, PETA, among others. There's been a sense of loss, dejection, and despondency in Tamil Nadu, particularly in the rural settings, because it has touched the nerve of Tamil life. Yes, Tamil community, like many other communities of India, is largely dependent on agriculture. Animal husbandry is an integral part of its life. So why single out Tamil Nadu? If it is a rural event, why not other states of India? The key lies in the archaeological evidence from Indus Valley civilization. Ancient Indians had practiced domestication of wild animals for farming purposes. While other communities failed to protect some of the practices associated with this tradition, only Tamil community has preserved them and handed down this tradition generation to generation over millennia. And now it is this very same tradition that is being targeted by the so-called animal welfare groups. It is true that emotions are running very high among Tamils, and not everyone fighting for this heritage fully understands or appreciates the concept and rationale behind Jallikattu. Nonetheless, the issue has now become an opportunity to educate everyone about this culture. Thanks to media of all sorts, scholars on this subject have come out and have tried to provide some good perspectives so lay public can understand easily. This is what we have tried to articulate in this message. So what really is Jallikattu? Jallikattu is a proud perennial cultural sport of the Tamils since prehistoric times. An annual celebratory sport held in Tamil Nadu, originally known as Eru Thaluvudal, which means embracing of the bulls. There are strict rules in this event. No animal shall be hurt in any way. The idea is not to subdue the animal, but to raise the fighting and survival instinct so as to heighten and preserve its virility. To motivate young men to participate in this sport, a few silver coins, salli or jalli meaning coins, were put in a kattu meaning pouch and tied to the horns of the bulls. Successful men have to embrace the hump of the bull and try to pick the pouch. Think about it. Men's valor is truly tested in this sport. This is the evolution of the term Jallikattu. Men started domesticating wild oxen as they learned to farm from hunting and foraging. Cows and oxen were an integral part of such transformation. To sustain the virility of the bulls, ancient Tamils devised Jallikattu. It was not intended to harm the animal or kill them. It was done to maintain their virility and potency. Ancient Tamils practiced selective breeding of their cattle through the sport. So beneficial traits such as large size or producing more milk can be passed on. Isn't it amazing that this was practiced long before genetics as a scientific discipline was even developed? There were around 130 known native species of bulls in Tamil Nadu area 100 years ago. Remember, Tamil Nadu is a recent geographical design. Ancient Tamilagam was a much bigger landmass. These bulls reproduced healthy offsprings for successive generations, and man-animal harmony was truly practiced. Now there are only a few dozens of breeds left. By banning and ending Jallikattu, there is a real and present danger of eliminating all native breeds and thereby putting an end to animal husbandry in Tamil Nadu. So why ban Jallikattu? Well, animal husbandry has now taken a different turn in India. There is a new influx of foreign breed that are not native to our region. Remember, even animals of same species can evolve differently depending on their habitat and adapt to local conditions. Introducing non-native species of the cows, such as Jersey cows, may appear to be profitable based on their milk production in the short term, but they can be harmful to their consumers in the long run. Since dairy is not an agricultural process strictly anymore and has become an industry, profit motives dictate all moves to maximize the production. India, being a sizable lacto-vegetarian population, is a very attractive target for multinational corporations. One of their strategies to gain entry into a well-established sector is to destroy the existing setup. Banning Jallikattu is one of the perfect ways to achieving their intended objective. Make no mistake, Jallikattu is not a sport for fun. It is a cultural event to ensure that the animal stays fertile with its rich genetic material. It may appear as a sport, but it really is not. How many bulls have really died in Jallikattu? How could a culture that deeply respects the cattle, raises and nurtures as a member of their own family, harass or kill it? Does it make any sense at all? To sell their story of animal cruelty, smear campaigns have been spread about. Oh, the bulls are being hurt, or they're being drugged, or they're being pepper sprayed before the event or publicized so that the gullible population will buy their story. Statistics indicate the decline of Cangayam breed of bulls from 1 million to just about 15,000. Ratio of bulls to cows has gone down from 1 to 4 to 1 to 8. Foreign species or crossbred cows have grown steadily across the nation. It is about 80% now. In addition to this, maintaining Jersey breed of cows is much more expensive and water intensive. An average farmer cannot afford to provide water and food with his scarce resources. This only adds to the woes of the farming community. Jallikattu has been the last line of defense against the invasion of the foreign species. It is only recently that some studies have exposed the true impact of the foreign species or artificially inseminated cows on our society, and now have attested to the adverse health impact to humans due to the consumption of the milk from these cows. There is no scientific census conducted across the nation on livestock in terms of the numbers or breeds. But isn't it an interesting paradox that India, having the highest cattle population in the world, and yet imports cows and semen for artificial insemination from abroad? And we wonder why. In bullfights in many other parts of the world, bulls are stabbed, drowned, or even burned to death. Tamil community has never done such cruel acts on their animals. Quite on the contrary, they protect, nurture, and venerate them. Therefore, accusing Jallikattu of animal cruelty can have no rational motivation, but it only raises the suspicions about the ulterior motives of the multinational corporations and hypocritical animal protection organizations that are behind the ban. Some people blindly support the ban for their popularity or even out of ignorance. It is very unfortunate that even the highest court of this land has not been able to see this despite adequate representation. Ironically, this has become a blessing in disguise, as the community at large is now able to understand the underlying philosophy behind the cultural sport. This rural sport is now occupying the minds of all Tamils across the world. Protests and demonstrations are being held in several continents to conduct Jallikattu. Jallikattu. This is our proud symbol of Tamil heritage. This cultural sport deserves all our utmost respect and support. So let us all rally behind this Jallikattu movement and support this ancient and ever young sport. Thank you.